It's fashionable today to describe politics as a swamp. For many, it has become nothing more than a vulgar spectacle of deceit, ambition, and optimism. Trust in our political institutions and our leaders has sunk to new lows, and politicians are held at greater contempt than for generations. Voter anger and disenchantment are growing at an alarming rate. Distracted by all the unseemingly squabbling of politics, we end up allowing markets and bureaucrats to make decisions for us, leaving citizens resigned and alienated from politics as usual. It is very hard to imagine the ideas, let alone the ideals, could play any part in all of this. But politics has always been a messy business, governed by more expediency and compromise than by lofty ideals and principles. It is usually a very rough, nasty Game of Thrones, dominated by conflicting interests, emotions, wealth, and power. Much of the time, it's just low-down, dirty business and evil-smelling bog. As one 19th century British politician, Lord Rosebery, said, "So shameful is political manoeuvring that it is largely conducted behind closed doors." No decent person wants to observe sausages or laws being made. This common view of politics is particularly true, but it is not the whole truth. Perhaps more than any other area, politics shows humans at their worst and their best. We are now too familiar with their worst. However, we assume that citizens should be informed. But they also need to be knowledgeable and even wise. Today's citizens are inundated with information, but knowledge and wisdom remain as scarce as ever. Thanks to the miracles of digital technology, we are drowning in oceans of data, facts, and opinions. What we need now is not more information, but more insight. Not more data, but more perspective. Not more opinions, but more wisdom. After all, much of what is called information is actually misinformation. And most opinions fall short of true knowledge, let alone wisdom. Even a superficial glance at the state of contemporary politics would dispel any illusion that the explosion of information has led to wiser citizens and politicians, or even improve the quality of public debate. If anything, misinformation is winning out over knowledge. The naive idealist amongst us believe that politics is about justice, and the cynic believes that politics is about power, whereas politics is about the attempt to bring justice to power. Were human beings perfectly good, our law would only need to direct us to what is right and just. But due to selfish resistance, legal justice must also rely upon sanctions or penalties. Politics is a way to manage human societies by means of argument, rather than by brute force. This arose relatively recently in history and may well disappear in the future. Human societies may well be governed in the future by some combination of markets and regulations. In many ways, a market economy governed by technocrats would be tidier and more efficient than the messy business of contentious and uncertain government by politics. Consumers would be happier if government was more predictable. To gauge what might be lost in our current messy political world, you would do well to begin your journey by watching our future videos.